Mr. George. Nice
Uncle
to see
Jess,
you.
nice to see you.
Thank you. You did a podcast the other day as well, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, how'd that go?
I think it went really well. You know, one of the homies, King Shinobi,
Woo.
shout out, had me on his podcast, and first time meeting his cousin that he like co-hosts with him, and usually they talk about different topics and anime and all this.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was one of their special guests, and we talked about dogs. You know, they just asked me questions about dogs and dog training, and most of it revolved around that and how I got into it.
Awesome.
You know, just a rundown on that.
Good stuff. Okay, so you're liking the podcasting?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. You get to chat. People are sometimes interested in what you have to say, so might as well get the info out. You know?
Oh, that's why we have you here today. We're interested in you, bud. I hope, right? So, I think last time one of the main topics we spoke about were, which is funny because I've been posting about it, we were just talking about it, like dog aggression, dog triggers, dog reactivity.
Right.
I don't know what you want to call it. That's something that people really seem to gravitate to and take a deeper interest than just dog training. Like that negative behavior side. Like why or why not? And it's interesting how I get heavy mixed reviews, right? Of if a dog displays aggression, they're like, oh, he doesn't know. It's not his fault. He shouldn't be accountable for that. Then other people are like, no, yeah, definitely it's his fault. He's the one engaging, initiating. His actions are creating reactions. He's in control of the situation. So the dog is accountable if the owner isn't.
Right.
So it's such a weird thing because I agree on both spectrums, right? I agree that the pooch parent is accountable and responsible, right? And I also agree that the dog has individual character, nerve structure, has its own identity. It's a living, breathing organism, so it's going to act a certain way.
Right.
But I feel the same way about people, kids, jobs, spouses, siblings, so on and so forth. So if I have the dog and I'm going to go rescue it, save it, purchase it, whatever it may be, I'm taking it into my care. That dog has no option or no free will on who chooses it. Right. So it's really interesting. At all. So now I take it to my house, and let's say I live on 5 acres, and I give kibble, and I take 15-mile jogs. That dog's going to do that and live that life. But if someone else purchases that dog, saves it, rescues it, whatever you want to say, and lives in a condominium in Miami Beach and doesn't walk the dog, then that dog is victim to that environment, those circumstances, and that master. Right? Ugly word. A lot of people don't like it, but yeah, that's the way it is. And then people get mad at the behavior and they don't know what to do, but they didn't try to do anything. You're a professional dog trainer, so you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lack of exposure. Lack of exposure, and they're either scared of everything or try to deter anything that's new because they've never been exposed to a trash can.
Right.
And even myself, I'm sure you've dealt with this as well. I've had clients that when I ask them, like, hey, so what is their walking routine like, or what do you guys do? And they're like, we open the door and he goes outside. He goes potty outside, and then he comes back inside. And
that's it. That's his day.
That's
nuts. Yeah, I get a lot of that.
And to me, it's crazy because, a lot of these dogs are meant to do a job. Mm-hmm. And then their job is to go outside and do potty. I think that's wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
Not even a walk. You're not even invested enough in your dog to go to the corner and back even, expose them to a little bit of the outside environment. But no, people rather have them inside.
Yeah, for their emotional
support,
right? Or their, this is a weird one, right? I feel that, like you said, they let them out in the backyard, but some people even train them for this, only pee and poop in the corner. So do potty, but over there too. They don't have the option of sniffing, picking, and barking.
They have pee pads and such things.
It's a little crazy. But I feel that even though we love the dog and we have our best intentions for the dog, a lot of owners don't give the dog what the dog needs. They give the dog what they think they want for the dog, right?
Ooh,
and that's a hard one.
Powerful.
Yeah, because what I want for the dog isn't what the dog needs, right? He doesn't need to be fed, right? He would like to hunt. He doesn't need to be castrated. He wants to reproduce. He doesn't need to live in 4 walls with AC. He wants to travel territory.
Right. He wants to be
right?
A dog.
Yeah, and then I get the rebuttal of like, oh no, but I give him a good life. You know, he lives inside. He gets 3 square meals a day. I feed him raw food. You know, You know, he has the best toys. This, I'm like, cool. That all sounds like something you want to give him. Not something he needs. He doesn't need the best bed. Because if you've ever seen dogs, they'll sleep on rocks. They don't care.
They do not care.
All right? Doesn't matter they have him inside AC, but you have him inside four walls that when you open the door, you make sure you don't get out. He's a prisoner in a weird way.
A prisoner.
Right? I know you love him. I know everybody's like, and that's okay. It's not true for you. But it's true for me as a behaviorist and a dog trainer. Because
absolutely,
if he really wants to be there, open the door, see what choice he makes. Don't train him not to go outside the door, though. That's cheating. Let him have free will. Let's see what he chooses.
Right.
Be inside in the AC or leave.
And most dogs
are going to leave, and that shows you what they need rather than what you want to give them. What you want to give them is great. It's like children. Me as a father, I want the best for my children. I want to give them things. I want to guide them in the direction I think is best for them.
Right.
But I have no concern on what they need out of their life. I have no concern on their desires, their wants, their cravings, what motivates them, what they're inferior to, like what makes them vulnerable. I don't care. This is what you need to do. This is what I want you to do.
Right.
Right? But children are individual entities, and what I want for them isn't what they need for themselves. Right? And I think when parents realize that, it's going to be a much more healthy, better said, relationship between parent and child.
Right.
But I feel the same way with dogs. I think we'll have a healthier relationship if we understand what they need, what they truly are, and what expectations we should give them that they can actually meet. Right? And then once we give them that, fucking easy peasy, baby. Right? Like, it's fun to have a dog, but it's not fun to have an out of control dog. Oh, but I don't mind. Doesn't matter if you don't mind. The general public minds, right? Like, so this is what.
And then
tell me.
That creates even more of a prisoner.
Yes.
Because people fall into the mistake of any behavioral issues, instead of correcting them or seeking training and help to correct those behaviors and make them stop, they just isolate themselves.
Right, or the dog. They time out it forever.
Forever. Can't go out anymore. So if it had the liberty of going out, started displaying behavior, no more. And then now the dog is a prisoner of the house because it displays either aggression or even, on the not crazy side, it could be overly happiness.
Jumps on everybody, runs away to go greet across the street. He's still out of control.
Yep.
Still his own decision making.
Absolutely. And so people don't want to walk their dogs or even expose them to the outside because they don't want to go through the embarrassment of the dog jumping on people or growling at people or barking at people and other dogs.
And that's not embarrassing. They should be embarrassed that they're not taking the time to work the dog. They should be embarrassed or even ashamed. I know I'm being mean today. Or even ashamed that they went and saved the dog's lives and made him a prisoner or a slave to their wants and desires out of that dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because everybody's like, oh, I don't want my dog to be a robot. I've talked about this in the past, and it's like, yeah, I know you don't. But if he barks and annoys you, let him bark. That's what dogs do. He's not a robot. Now he wants to pee inside the house and marking territory? Don't stop that. Let him be a dog. That's right? You open the door. He wants to run away and chase a lizard, a rat, a bird, a bunny, kill it and consume it, or kill it just for fun because he's a predator and he's practicing. Let him do it. Let him be a dog. Let him jump. Let him fight with other dogs. So they do. They establish hierarchy.
Right.
Like, so what do you mean by let him be a dog? Like, what's your definition of dog? Or what do you want? What do you want the definition of dog to be? It's a tough one, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be realistic.
Yeah, that's reality.
You get some people that do whatever they want with one individual dog, and they never have an issue. And they treat a new dog the same exact way, and they get aggression issues, fear issues, anxiety issues, individual character, nerve structure, mental retention, cultural contamination, right? All these things matter. Conditioning.
Absolutely.
So, when it comes to aggression or what you were saying earlier, just a very happy dog, I call it aggressively happy. Because they're not aggressive, but the way they interact is an aggressive approach to, hey, interact with me. Hey, pet me. Hey, he's demanding. He's not asking. Jumping, scratching you, all these things.
Absolutely.
And then you have, I think, a third party, which is just a very easy, manageable dog. You didn't have to do nothing. You picked it, tossed the coin. You said heads, you got heads.
And you got a good dog.
And you got a good dog. You get that too. Like, I've seen that a lot of times too. Like, I never have to do that with my dog. Cool, you never had to do that with your dog. I get it. How many dogs have you had? 2. That doesn't count then. Right? That doesn't count. You've had 16 dogs. Maybe within those you had good ones, bad ones, medium ones, hard ones, soft ones.
Right. Individual character and nerve structure.
Yeah. I think that the experience is valuable. Like we spoke about last time, it's like some dog trainers have been dog training for 20 years, 40 years, been behaviorists, but they only work 2 hours a week. So you can't really go by the time frame of them doing this for 20 years. Tell me the hours you've invested.
Ooh.
'Cause I've been doing something for 20 years, but 2 hours a week, it's not really 20 years.
Right.
Right? Because 24 hours is one day. And then I can start counting like that between my hours. How many hours of experience? How many hours of failure? How many hours of the process of elimination? Like, oh my God. Like, you know this.
Yeah.
So I think that's more valuable. Oh, you've been doing it 5 years, he's been doing it 20. But you work 10 dogs a day, he works 2 dogs a week. You have more experience.
Right.
You have more know-how.
Through practice.
Yes,
Through
you have more practice
alone.
of it. Right? Like, I've been doing martial arts since I was 5. I haven't practiced martial arts in over like a decade and a half. So I haven't really been doing martial arts since I was 5. I know the philosophy and the concept of martial arts I stopped when I was like 18. You know what I mean? But everything stuck. It didn't go away. And I maintained the philosophy, the know-how, the implementation of defense to offense. That's part of a giant part of my life and a big influence in even my dog training, right, in my parenting. So I can't say I've been doing martial arts. I'm 40. For 40 years. It's fake. How many hours have I put into it?
Right.
That defines how long I've been doing it. Right? So same thing for dog training. And so unexperienced people really, I don't take their words very seriously. And people that don't have a lot of interactions with outside dogs except the ones that they've conditioned to their lifestyle and their association to normality. So the dog isn't displaying anything outside of your norm because that's what you taught it and what you're used to. But outside perspective, like, that dog's fucking out of control.
Right.
That dog's scared of everything. That dog's a nervous disaster. That dog's super good dog, unfearful, just a lot of dog.
A lot of dog sometimes just for the owner, you know? It's not necessarily that the dog's a lot of dog, it's just sometimes it's too much dog for the owner.
For the owner, why Malinois, Belgian Malinois are overrunning shelters. They're cute. I saw a movie, Max or Dog or whatever movie. There's
John
100
Wick,
movies.
like,
John Wick. Oh, I want to be Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? And then you buy and you're like, this dog's on crack. You know what I mean? This dog's fucking crazy. Like, what did he snort? Like, for no reason, just circling.
Right.
What's he mad about? I gave him AC, I gave him food, I gave him water, I gave him a bed, but he didn't do it on purpose.
They just want to work. They just want to do something. They just want to get out. They just want to do something.
So then you get a dog because it's pretty. You don't do any research on character, energy, coat, allergy. Like, you don't do none of that.
Right.
It's just pretty. 90% of pet purchases, including dogs, is impulsive. 90% impulsive.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just going to... we don't want anything from pet supermarket. You just want to see a bunny rabbits. And you leave with a ferret. You know what I mean? Like, pet purchases are 90% impulsive.
Right.
We never planned to buy a dog. It picked us. It chose me. I saved his life. Right? So, that whole concept. But we segued a lot. We're out of control today. Between aggression, happily aggressive, and just good dogs. There's a big debate. Where do you stand, if you don't mind saying, right? Like, when it comes to a dog that's aggressive, happily aggressive, or medium, but just that's out of control. That the owners don't take accountability. That it's okay because it's a Chihuahua. Talk about that. I had someone go back and forth with me in the comments positively, right? I think one of the best comments I got is that we were going back and forth on comments, said, oh, thank you so much for being so civil about this. I'm like, yeah, bro, we're here to educate and help. I'm not here to pull ears and tell you you're fucking wrong, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not that fucking guy. If you don't agree with my perspective, my point of view, and my expertise, okay. I disagree with my doctor all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. I just want to make sure that it's also okay for me to express my point of view, and it's okay for you to express yours. If we don't meet in the middle, it's fine. At least the people around us got to hear the back and forward, got to hear different points, different perspectives, and different good and bad processes of the way we view things, and they can make an educated decision for themselves. But if it's not spoken about, we can't move forward. Right. So where's your perspective? Like, what do you think about a good dog that just, runs off leash, jumps on people? What do you think about a dog that's reactive and the owner still think it's okay to take him out and interact with people? Because how's he going to get better? Right? How do you feel about those things?
I think people are wild, man. I think people are wild for that because
the dogs are fucking fine, people. We're fucking wild. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're wild.
I think so, man, because they, it's one of the topics on the other podcast where what do you like when you are going to buy a dog, what should you do? And it's research. Research if that dog fits your lifestyle. And most of the time, people end up getting a dog that doesn't fit their lifestyle, and then they fall under these bad habits, and then the dog becomes either aggressive or overly happy, right? Which are two really bad combinations.
Yeah, bro.
That also I got to experience the pit bull thing. That happened with one of my good friends, and we're chilling in Fort Myers at a random bar. We're getting a drink, chilling outside, and I'm starting to get a little tipsy and shit. So I see some dude sit down with his pit bull, and he like fixates on another dog 10 feet away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy, but just fixated.
Yeah, dog
just
stuff.
Watching him, just watching the entire time. So me being me, I was like, hey, dude.
You told the guy that?
Yeah. I was like, hey, man, like, does he do that a lot?
Is that normal? You're fucking freaking me out. Fucking freaking me out, bro.
And he was like, well, like he's dog aggressive, and usually with big dogs, he doesn't really get too crazy, but if he sees a small dog, then he goes bonkers, right?
Look at that. What a bully.
He proceeds to tell me that he went to training, right? And then the trainer told him, come back or whatever, and we'll work on it and see what happens. But he felt like he
could manage it, or
the
dog was okay.
It was like he wasn't getting the right information.
Oh, from
like
I got it. Yeah, so he gave up on that process
and then just stopped,
thinking he was in a
and then he just stopped.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking, we're chit chatting, chopping it up, and he's giving me all this information about the dog. And all of a sudden, this lady with retractable leashes with two little chihuahuas comes by, and they're overly friendly. Right? And they're overly friendly, so they approach the pit bull, break the threshold of the little fence, the chain fence.
Oh, so there's a barrier between you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little fence, that the pit bull could get under, but
or
for
get
the most
over.
part, it was at his chest level. He was just
but the little chihuahuas went through
and got under. Gets under, pit bull chomps. Boom. Grabs onto the chihuahua, and luckily they throw cold water on the pit bull. Pit bull lets go.
Oh, nice. So easy interaction.
Right.
Holy shoot. Yeah, easy. So he didn't really even want it. He just became reactive. He's like, oh, you little shit.
Yep,
and then, water.
Right.
Because usually you can put a bat to their head. Sorry about the flies.
Right.
Well, you can put a bat to their head, and they don't care.
They're in it.
You're doing a fucking break stick, and they don't care. You're putting a finger in their butt. They don't care. You're lifting them off the ground. They don't care. So he didn't really have... He engaged it, but he didn't have commitment behind that engagement.
No commitment at all. He
let
go.
Good.
Immediately
Thank God for the Chihuahua.
Yes, which, luckily nothing happened to the Chihuahua too seriously. It did have a puncture wound. Cops came. There was a report, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But it just goes to show how people, in that case, both opposite ends.
Right. Good example.
We have the aggression side of it, that I still choose to take my dog out and try to expose him to the world without fixing the problem. And then you have the overly friendly Chihuahuas.
That it doesn't matter what they do. They're good dogs.
They're good dogs. They're friendly. Okay. They're friendly. It's okay. And we have them on a 10-foot retractable leash. They're ahead of you, no control. And then if you had your dog in a heel, or even in a more structured walk.
Or if your dog understood that you have to release him so he can engage, or say hello, or be greeted.
Or even further, right?
Or just on a regular fucking leash. 6-footer, 5-footer that he can't get ahead of me and I can still control him.
Right.
Or have manageability. Oh, the pit bull, I'm going to bring this little sucker in.
And so, tragic, crazy, but, it just goes to show how people are irresponsible with both sides of that coin,
But we see it in a different light, right? They're both right. My dog's friendly, so why shouldn't I take it out and let it engage people? Number one, because I don't fucking like it. My daughter's scared of dogs. My son's allergic. I don't want to be scratched and jumped on.
Right.
I don't want drool on my nice clothes.
Not everybody loves dogs.
Right! Find out you love your dog. Love the hell out of it. Sleep with it, roll with it, bathe with it. I don't give a shit, really. Love your dog. But you kind of impose that on other people. Right?
100%.
Then the other guy, I feel like he was right and he was wrong. My dog's not actively aggressive. He's not actively triggering and engaging people, things, or dogs.
He wasn't lunging.
You leave him alone.
Nothing crazy.
He leaves you alone. So, that being said, if the Chihuahuas were happily aggressive, invading personal space, being a little bit random, he's minding his business, and they engage him, would you consider that provoked aggression or unprovoked aggression? I don't know. How would I react if someone came up to me at the grocery store and just got in my face?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey.
I don't know, by instinct I'd punch him.
Right.
Or I push him, or I just let it happen.
Hey, step back.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. You have to put me in that situation. So I know how I'll react. And you also have to put me in that situation depending on my mindset that day. Because if I got in a fight with my wife, I got cut off. The security when I was walking and gave me shit. I'm going to be in a different state of mind than if I just got up, rolled up a joint, and I was hanging out.
Right. Calm as a cucumber.
Right? So...
But if you're building up that tension,
yes,
I might snap that thing.
I don't know. And would I be wrong or right for doing it? I don't know. And obviously, we're talking about us humans that I get this argument all the time that, dogs aren't human. And I'm like, yeah, no. It's funny how everybody picks and chooses that double standard because when I say it, they're like, oh, no, dogs are people too. He's my son, he's my daughter. And then when I'm talking about communication and all these things, oh, but dogs can't understand people the same way because they're not human. I'm like, oh, it's funny, but you get to pick and choose when you use that argument. It's not a double standard. Either you believe in it or you don't.
Right. It's one or the other, bro.
One or the other. So, it's one of those things that we don't understand how the primitive subspecies kind of sees forward pressure, interactions, having two dogs approach him in a pack order, what residual effects he has from past experiences. There's a lot of weird things going on there. So, if the Chihuahuas wouldn't have gauged, you wouldn't have reacted. Action, reaction, cause, effect. Feedback loop, right? Maybe that Chihuahua's not going to do it against that pit bull. Sees him next time, go the other way. You know what I mean? So, if dogs don't learn the way we learn, I agree. For reading, comprehension, self-awareness, a lot of other things, because they don't have the involved frontal lobe. But every primitive subspecies understands the feedback loop. If you took humans, apes, horses, cows, dogs, cats, birds, take them all, put them in a little field, and put an electrical fence in front of us. We're all going to learn the same fucking way.
Right.
We're all going to learn.
Don't touch the fence.
The ape's going to touch the fence, be like, fuck that fence.
Right.
I'm going to touch the fence, be like, fuck that fence. Dog's going to touch that fence, he's going to say, fuck that fence. The horse is going to touch that fence, he's going to say, fuck that fence. The cow's going to touch that fence, he's going to say, fuck that fence. Or she, sorry, that was dumb. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the feedback loop is a kind of a maybe universal way. I might be talking out of context to everything, every living, breathing organism.
Right.
Even plants learn that. If I water the wall here, but I don't water it here, the plants will grow this way.
They'll seek it.
So there is conditioning, there is understanding, there is feedback loop. There is.
Cause and effect, man.
Yeah. So I can't teach a dog primitively the same way I could teach myself primitively.
Right.
But I can't teach a dog cognitively the same way I could teach a human cognitively.
You're just not going to get through. They don't speak the same language,
They
bro.
don't speak the same language, baby.
It's at the end of the day, it's not the same language.
It's not the same. So anything you reward your dog for, you pet your dog for, you treat your dog for, he's going to keep doing it. Classical conditioning, right? We talked about this, all the different styles, methods, definitions, meanings. And we're both on the same page because I'm dumb as hell when it comes to that. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I still don't know all the terminology, all the jargon, all the lingo.
Right.
I make up fucking terminology all the time.
Yeah, I end up having to look most of it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I understand what
I see what they were saying. Oh,
right.
I'm so dumb. I hear...
Because sometimes the trippy part is you're already doing that, in the system, right? In the dog training system, you end up doing some of the things that they're talking about through certain behaviors.
Yes.
And then so I didn't have no idea.
Unintentionally, almost.
Unintentionally. I have no idea what it is, but I understood dog. You taught me how to speak dog, so now I'm like, oh, okay, this is how you go about this.
Right.
And not every dog is the same.
And not every dog
Some dogs you have to be a little softer. Some dogs you have to be a little harder. Some dogs are easier than others.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things where people get lost thinking that the dog speaks English because it understands
sit down, stay
is sit, right? Down is down.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had 2 cases already where clients come was Delmar, and
cool.
then for another dog, down was red.
Nice.
So it goes to show you,
it doesn't matter what you teach him. You can teach him how to sit on the word tree.
Every time you say tree, he's gonna sit down.
Say car and teach him how to down.
Right.
You can say backward and teach him how to heel. It's the condition response, the repetition and reward, and the addition of a word to create the trigger, the reaction, however you want to say it.
Absolutely.
So it's all fake. I usually teach a dog how to sit, right? I'll take a treat, lure it, bring the treat really high up, and then all of a sudden the dog looks at it and sits. Right? And while I'm doing that, I'll tell people, you want to see something funny? Watch. And every time I do it, because it's only being manipulated by the sign language, the body language, whatever you want to do, the treats triggering everything, like you said. So I'll make it boom, boom, sit, and I'll say sit, good. I'll say sit, good. I'll say sit, good. And I'll say car, good. I'll say tomorrow, good. I'll say month, good. I'll say Christmas, good. And it sits every time I say something. People are like, oh my God, how's he doing that? I'm like, he's not listening, he's doing.
Through the motion of your actions.
Not listening.
Body language.
Yeah. Sometimes what you do is more powerful than what you say. Hence why we say in romantic relationships, don't tell me you love me. Show me you love me. It's really interesting. Like, I think the best statement, and I think you should kind of like franchise this, trademark it. I don't know what the right word is. I'm dumb. Is people are wild. Big George.
People are wild, bro.
Any dog training question, I'd be like, hey, what do you think about aggressive dog? I'd be like, people are wild.
I guess that stems from now understanding that behaviors come from some sort of minor mistake that we might have made. Mm-hmm. And, most people, they purchase puppies. And these are small mistakes that you make throughout their puppy lives, and then it just gets worse, and then worse. And in some cases you have, I don't know, maybe a little beagle. Not that big of a deal, right?
Right, it's a beagle.
Chihuahua, not
a big deal.
French bulldogs, they're like, he's cute. He's biting your ankles, but he's not serious, so it's cute. It's cute, right?
Right.
But then you run into German Shepherds, Rottweilers,
right,
Mastiff breeds, Pit Bulls that are stronger dogs, bigger dogs.
More capable dogs,
right? That you feed those bad behaviors throughout so much like time that it just escalates.
Right.
At tea kettles, right?
At tea kettles. Right, boils over and then it screams.
Right. So that's why I say that people are wild, man. Like, instead of, picking up a little bit of the information off the internet, to try to get a better understanding of what breed or what age works for them. If I aesthetically like a dog, does that fit my lifestyle necessarily? If you want a dog so bad, but does that certain breed fit your lifestyle?
Oh, but I don't like any of the dogs. I don't like any of the breeds. Well, then you can't have a dog. Right? Or, not that you can't. You definitely can. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Because you're going to get frustrated with it. You're not going to love it. Or you might love it, but you're not going to definitely like it. Right? You might end up giving it to your neighbor. You might home it. You might send it to a shelter. Because it was more than I anticipated.
Too much.
My work schedule's too much. You don't have the kids. But you knew that before you got the dog. Like, that excuse is nonsense to me.
Crazy.
Oh, I don't have time. Then why do you get the dog? Oh, because you had impulse control issues? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So it picked me. I love it. Oh, so now because you can't handle it, doesn't matter that it picked you anymore.
Right. Now it's not destiny.
Oh, I'm not trying to attack nobody. I know everybody feels attacked. But I feel attacked for dogs. I feel attacked as a dog trainer. I feel attacked as a behaviorist. I'm always feeling attacked.
I agree. Even within your own clients,
Yeah.
Like sometimes they even though, in your case, you've been doing it for 25 years, I've shadowed you, and people still question things where it's like, well, did that method that you were using before, did that work? Did that show you any result?
Right.
And you come over and, you do a couple things, show them, the modification of that behavior, and then the dog understands, and people are like, wow.
Yeah, man, and I don't think. So I like being challenged, right? I like you to ask me questions. I like you to challenge me, because if I don't know the answer to your challenge, or if I don't know how to educate you better to the question you asked, or if I don't have the information, I will get it. Like, you stumping me is not a failure to me. It's just an open window that's like, oh my God, I need to learn more about that.
It's growth.
Yes, it's growth, but everybody sees it as like, oh, he was wrong. And like, yeah, I was.
I'm not
going to be wrong twice, though.
World,
Look at me. I'm not going to be wrong twice, though, right?
Right.
I'm not going to do it twice. Because if I put my hand on a hot stove, I don't leave it there. I take it away. Right? And I can almost guarantee that indefinitely that I'm not going to get burned twice.
Right. Because I learned my lesson.
And that's what I feel about not understanding information that I'm ignorant to. That's what I understand about being wrong about things. That's what I understand about failing. If I fail enough, I'll be right. So I'm not mad when someone stumps me. It just shows me I need to further my education. I need more growth. And I need to expand the box I'm in.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, yeah, you won. Good. Thank you. You're probably not going to win twice.
We'll be back.
We'll be back, baby.
We'll
right?
be
And
back.
I feel like everybody should have that mindset, especially future pooch parents. Let's be successful with our dogs.
100%.
Right? Let's set ourselves up for success. Let's set the dog up for success. Let's not get a husky living in a condo. You know what I mean? Like, that's silly.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? I don't know why it's so destructive. Well, shit. You got a dog that's supposed to work days on end without food or water through treacherous terrain. Like, yeah, they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But not really. If you give them their duties and tasks and their purpose, they're very mild-mannered dogs for that lifestyle.
Yeah, they'll slow down.
They're just not for you.
Right.
That's a hard pill to swallow, but no one's attacking you. No one's going against you.
But they look like wolves, Jesse.
I know. I like the wolf look.
They look like wolves.
I don't want a basset hound. Well, too bad for you. You might not want it, but that's what you need. We're going back to that. What we want compared to what you need.
It's completely different. Or what you can handle, man.
Or what you're capable of, taking on.
Like, if you really like a certain breed, this is something I talked about in the podcast.
Oh, tell me, please.
Start off with something a little bit more mild. You know, if you really want a Belgian Malinois, if you want a German Shepherd, if you want some of these harder dogs, start off with something more mild that fits your lifestyle. And then, because it's going to be a lot harder to get a German Shepherd under control than, like a Beagle, per se. Or, they both can display the same amount of aggression and behavioral issues.
But it's less likely in a Beagle.
Exactly.
Through selective breeding. Something else we did without dog's consent. But through selective breeding, we could do that.
100%.
Right? So, it's a valid point.
100%.
It's a valid fucking point, bud. And I think people just get... It's like working out. I don't want to wait 8 months or a year or 2 years to get to the body I want. I want it tomorrow. Is there a magic pill? It's like, no, bro. It's a lot of freaking work, unfortunately. I wish there was, but if you put in that work and the effort, you will reap the result.
Right.
And you will meet the goal. I think that's with dogs too. Also, you're telling me I have to get one dog, wait 10 years, and then get a new dog? I'm like, no, you can wait fucking 10 days and buy a different one. Keep both. But manage it. Wait a month. Wait 2 months. Get professional help if you don't understand.
Right.
Are you selecting the same character? You don't know what you're doing, guys. Get professional help. We get professional help for everything.
100%.
Like, there's local Google dog trainer. You're going to find 10,000 you can pick from. Look at their reviews. Call them. Talk to them. You could have the best dog trainer in the world that's an asshole.
Oof.
You could have a mediocre dog trainer that's amazing and fits your style.
Your personality.
Your personality, right? Like,
or something that you might relate to them more with,
People don't buy products.
Find who you're comfortable with.
Yes. People don't buy products or services. People buy products and services from people they like.
Right. 100%. 100%.
Right? Because I go to the car dealer, I want the fucking truck, but you're a dick-faced fucking salesman, or you're a pain-in-the-ass salesman, I'll go to a different dealer.
Find someone nicer.
As soon as the first guy I see that's super cool and we kind of mesh, I'm buying the truck from him, even if it's more expensive.
Right. Because it's a more pleasant interaction.
Yeah, man. Like, so I feel the same way about dogs and people. I don't think everybody harmoniously can coexist. I think chemistry is a big deal. Like, you have to bond, you have to build a relationship, you have to like each other, you have to have the same wants, needs, and desires. A relationship, parental, romantic, sibling, I don't care. It's a relationship. Not every sibling gets along, and others don't understand why most people don't get along. Because they have a harmonious coexistence and they kind of mesh. Then you have husbands and wives or spouses or partners that divorce and others that stay together forever.
Right.
And chemistry means something, right? I think in dog relationship, it means something to pick a dog that suits you, your family, your household, your energy level, your daily routine, your availability. It's a fucking good point, George. I think people just, if they're accountable for their mistakes, that means everything they've done has always been wrong. And they have to change their whole lifestyle, their whole perspective. And that's a hard pill to swallow, to say, like, I've been wrong for 40 years.
100%.
I've been wrong for 2 years. I've been wrong. That's hard for people to acknowledge.
And I think, personally, like, buying a dog is a lifestyle, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Lifestyle.
I think we were talking about that last time, too.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, 100%.
You want a refill, buddy?
Sure, I'll take a refill.
Take a little refill real quick.
But
it's a lifestyle choice. I think we talked about last time, like working out, right? Like, you just been hitting the gym hard and going through your motion.
That's a lifestyle. It's something that you start off doing, and if you really enjoy it and start to like it, you end up making it a lifestyle.
Heck yeah. And it makes it easier when you make it a lifestyle. It's not a chore. It's not a chore.
Now it's a routine.
Yes.
Now it's a routine. Same thing with dogs, man. Same thing with dogs.
So, what are you in the mood for? Because I don't have rum in here. I do have Hennessy and Johnny Walker Double Black. Hennessy it is.
Yeah.
Okay. You were saying you make it a routine.
Right, you make it a routine.
Hell yeah.
It's part of your life now. You know, you're making space for the training session at the gym, which translates to the dogs. You know, you have to realize that when you purchase a dog, you're purchasing another being that requires basically the same needs that you do, you know? 100%. And that's why, again, going back to research your breed, something might not fit you because it's just not your lifestyle, you know? You want a dog really bad? Go get it. But you have to understand that your life is forever going to change. And that happened to me when I got my first dog, right? I was a punk 22-year-old kid going out all the time, having fun, doing this, doing that, just going out, being a little degenerate, going to bars, you know, the whole nine. And then I got a dog, you know, 22, 23, and then that changed my life. Because I couldn't go out anymore. I got to take the dog out. I got to go walk it.
So you're not staying out till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Not anymore.
In the morning.
You know, it's just not. It's something I'm not doing anymore. And I was conscious enough to know that I purchased this dog or got this dog, and now I'm accountable for doing something because it needs to go out. It needs exposure to the outside. And you knew Azula when she was crappy. I just talked about this in the podcast. I was like, it's crazy because now everybody sees Azula and they're like, oh my God, she's such a great dog. Like, I wish my dog was like that. Or like now it's a dog that I bring to clients' houses to have her just lay down somewhere, and then I work their dog around them, and then they work their dog around you know, Azula.
She's a distraction. She's a helper. She's a co-worker. How crazy, right?
She's part of like the whole awesome. Nine, you know. And before, when I first purchased her, she was a kind of a crappy dog. She had that leash aggression. She had that people aggression. You know, some of my friends were scared to come over because she would just approach people by barking at them, and and she would do like that weird intimidating, that pounce where it looks like she might lunge. She might not.
That bluff. That's a bluff, but she's still feeling you out.
So, you know, it was like awkward. You know, I didn't want people to think that I had a bad dog.
Right.
So, you know, we got to fixing her a little bit, educating myself, met you, and then we're here. But that was a dog that started off crappy. You know, that started off where, like, I honestly, like, I think back sometimes, I was like, I never imagined that she would be my ride or die. That, crazy. You know, now I'm able to go to clients' houses and assure them, like, yo, my dog will be fine. She'll be
Everything's
straight.
Everything's going to be cool, right.
I'm going to put her in a downstay, and we're going to do stuff around. And they're like, what? And I'm like, dude, it'll be fine. No, but my dog's crazy. I'm like, dude,
listen, we're good, Bubba.
It's fine.
We're good.
And now I can take her places and show other people, like, listen, this is something that it's accomplishable. And I posted a reel a while back where it's like I just did a little drill with her in my driveway, and she's flawless. But it's 6 years of running a constant drill. Putting time to go outside and doing these little things to stimulate her mind, our bond. You know, because that just makes your bond with them a lot better, to the point where you can talk to your dog through body language.
Yes.
You know, and that's more powerful than being able to yell or tell them a command. Like, you just move, you know, you do a hand gesture, and then all of a sudden they're like, I know what that means. And then they're sitting down. Right. They're laying down. They're coming to you. You know, like, whatever it is. So, I don't know, man. It's just powerful things, bro. Powerful things that I look back on. Stuff. And I'm like, it's crazy. But you can get there. You can get there through the lifestyle. Because you have to commit to, I have this dog, my life now has to change, which is very similar to, like, I, like, now view it as almost like prepping for children, you know?
Right, that's a good way to look at it.
It's nothing comparable because you're taking care of a live human being, which is
right, you're not going to cuddle up your fucking kid.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly, like, it's a completely different scenario,
but there's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of accountability.
A lot of accountability.
You're building yourself. You're building your character. You're growing. 100%. There's growth within it.
100%.
I like that. But I agree with what you're saying about the lifestyle. I like that, the lifestyle. You know, it's like we were talking about working out. A lot of people are like, oh, man, I wish I had that body, or I wish, I had a six-pack. Right? Like, yeah, but when you see people that do have it, and they do it for a living, like us, our dogs are great because we're dog trainers. Like, they live with us 24 hours a day. They're part of our our pack, our
everyday
family.
life.
Yeah, it's
Our everyday
different.
life.
That's how personal trainers are. So of course they look great. They're getting paid for it.
Right.
So when they're in the gym, it's not like after work I'm going to the gym. No, work is the gym.
Right.
Gym is the work. Like they're getting paid to be there. They don't mind. Like we have to work. We have to attend to our families. We have to do all this. That is everything, and they build friendships and communities and tribes within that gym.
100%.
So they work, they party, they socialize, everything at the gym. So they better be up to par, because you wouldn't train your dog with me if I was a shitty dog trainer.
Right.
I'm not going to take workout advice from someone that seems unhealthy to me. Sorry.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the cold hard truth. So if you don't make
reality.
if you don't make it a lifestyle, I was like, man, I complain, I'm 40, I got a big gut. I'm not the man I used to be. I'm like, yeah, but before I was a single man that made good money and lived at the gym. I woke up, I did 2 days, I was at the gym for 2 hours each session. Like I was a different human being.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Different time, man.
I'm a father of 5. I'm a husband. I'm a business owner. Like there's a lot of things that change. I don't have that time, and that's not an excuse. It's just reality. Do I have extra time to go commit to it? Yes. Do I want to? No. Do I need to? Yes. Yes.
Right.
But I don't want to, because every extra moment I want to spend extra time with my daughter, or extra time with my son, or extra time with my wife. Before, the extra time was just me all the time.
Right.
So whatever I did, it doesn't matter. I was still with me. I was still doing me. So that's a good way to look at the dogs. Yeah, of course your dog hasn't learned. How much time have you put into him? You get this from clients, I'm sure that I get as well. It's kind of like I go 1 week later, we're at our 12 o'clock Wednesday session. Oh, this week's been rough. I haven't been able to do anything. You know, and it's kind of like, oh, why didn't you call me and tell me you haven't done anything so we could reschedule?
Right. Because it's a lot easier.
We can't move forward anyways.
Right.
Like, so you still haven't done the basic foundation. How are we going to move forward? The dog's not listening to you yet. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's right.
We can't move on from that because you didn't practice the homework. So because we didn't practice the homework, then we're just going to be doing the same thing we did last session.
Exactly.
So it's more convenient for you to tell me, hey man, you know,
can we reschedule for next week? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Perfect.
No problem. Call my next client. Hey, how to cancellation? I can be to you early if you want. Yeah, right. Sure, come early. I'm like, great. I'm not mad at you.
No.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not that person, right? Like, you canceled, you didn't give me 48 hours. I'm like, no, bro, it's fine. You're not going to lose your session. We'll move it. I'm okay with it.
Right.
It's fine.
Absolutely.
We're human. Sometimes I call my clients an hour before the class. I'm like, hey, bro, like, my daughter's sick. I have to take her to the doctor. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope you're not mad at me. And if you are, too bad.
But things happen, man.
But things happen. And that's how I see it. I've had clients in the past where we're at session 5, and they're still telling me they haven't had time. But I gave you 5 hours, 5 sessions, and you've given me nothing. This is where you get those bad reviews, or you get someone talking nonsense about dog training. No, dog training doesn't work. I spent a ton of money and it didn't work. I'm like, yeah, no. Dog training works. You didn't work. Because every time I got there, the dog sang and danced for me, made me coffee, and did laundry.
Right.
And that's why I record stuff. Right? Make people accountable. Oh, he doesn't do it for you is different than he doesn't do it.
Right.
He does it. You haven't put any time into it. Right? You can't be mad at your personal trainer. If I'm hiring him, I'm paying him $200 an hour, and he tells me, hey, he gives me a dietitian plan, he gives me a workout routine. All right, I'll see you next week. I didn't go to the gym, I didn't diet, I did nothing. He told me, and I made him accountable for my failure. Don't hire a personal trainer. It doesn't work. No. You don't work.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest problem. Like, dogs are cool. Dogs are cool. I talk about we romanticize dogs a lot. Don't get a dog, man. Go visit your friend with a dog. Go to the shelter. Right. Go to a rescue. Volunteer time.
Yeah, volunteer your time.
And then see if you're ready for a dog.
Right.
Like, I think everyone should be obligated to like 200 hours of volunteer time at a shelter before they're able to purchase a dog.
Right.
Right? Just like I think everybody that's going to have a baby needs to do 200 hours of fucking parenting classes. I do.
Yeah, I mean,
I do.
Man.
I do. Right. I do. You know, the same thing for getting married. Same thing for anything. Like, do a couple hours of whatever you want.
And see if you really want it.
See if you really want to do it.
Right.
I think people lack experience before they buy a dog.
Yeah.
And people that have experience sometimes romanticize puppies as well, and they will become ignorant to the fact that their 16-year-old dog was 6 months old at one point. They forget that the dog was crazy.
Right.
They forget. And that's okay. But don't get mad after I forewarn you that, hey, you're good. You don't need a new dog, or you don't need another dog. Why do clients feel the need after you train their dog? They need a new one.
Oof, that's powerful too.
Right? Like you just created a homeostasis, an equilibrium, a balance to your home, household, and coexistence. Why do you want to bring an outside element?
I think sometimes people seek the challenge.
I don't know, bro.
Without even realizing it is it's a challenge.
Like, hey, you don't need. Like, I lose money. I tell people all the time, I'm going to make more money if you get another dog. Don't get another dog. No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Most of my clients right now, they always laugh at me. Like, oh, Jeff, you think I can get that? I'm like, no! You don't have my authorization or permission.
Right.
I will divorce you as a client.
You're done.
You know, like, you're done.
You're done. You're done.
Sorry, wow.
That's the funny part for sure.
Yeah, dude. People are
wild.
Wild,
People
man.
Are wild,
people,
bro.
I love when you say it.
People are wild, bro.
I'm gonna make a shirt for you. People are wild. New George, fuck that shit. People are fucking wild, baby. I agree with that shit.
For sure, man.
Because at the end of the day, as behaviorists and dog trainers, we always see the root cause of the dog's issues is the owner.
Right.
It's a cultural conditioning.
It's hard to explain that to people too.
It's their environmental.
You have really. This is the one thing that fucks me up though, is the people that are aware that they will openly tell you, I think I'm the problem.
But I don't care.
But they haven't done anything. But granted, they took the step to hire help.
Yeah, because that makes them accountable.
Right.
I'm not going to give you free money, hopefully. Some people do.
Right. And no matter how many times you tell them, like, hey, don't give me free money. That's why I guess it's a way of covering my ass, I guess, when I tell people, like, listen, like, this is for the rest of the dog's life. What I teach you in these 5 sessions, 7 sessions, whatever it is, this is for the rest of the dog's life. And the moment you stop doing these things is the moment the dog starts to regress.
100. It's training, right? Just like personal training. If I stop working out, will I gain weight? Will I lose muscle? Will I regress in my ability to perform that physical?
You lose the gains, bro.
You lose the gains. If Usain Bolt stops sprinting for 6 months, will we have the same speed?
Probably not.
If I stop lifting for 6 months, will I keep the same amount of muscle? No. If I stop dieting for 6 months, will I keep the same amount of weight on? No. What? You must maintain. That's what the lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But just like maintenance of body figure or physical performance, once it's hard getting to the goal you want to meet. But once I meet the goal, it's not hard to maintain the goal. It's hard getting there because you're conditioning yourself.
It's just maintenance.
Yes.
It's just maintenance.
It's not that hard. You have to actively maintain it. You can't deactivate and maintain. That's an impossibility.
Right.
So personal training, personal health, personal education, everything. It's the same thing. Once you stop, you will regress. Dog training is the same way. If you stop, the dog will regress.
Right. Something that I think is cool about ownership too is the people that are committed. They start to get creative, and they start to get into it almost where, like you say it all the time, you create little dog trainers.
Yes.
Because they start getting, as just like human nature, you start getting creative. You start to push yourself, and then you get videos of clients that are like, look. I made him downstay in the middle of like a playground.
Right, and I never thought he could do that.
And that was a super friendly dog, an aggressive dog, and now they're sending you videos of them downstaying in the middle of a playground.
Right,
or
right.
At the end of the stop sign, and the stop sign's 100 yards away.
Yep.
And then they recall and dog comes straight to them. I think that's like a cool part where you have the negative and positive of the dog training side, and people that listen and people that don't. And I think it's really cool that the people that do, you get to see like the fruits of their labor, and they're really excited to send you their progress. Even after you stop going to their house or whatever, they're like, hey, look, check this out. And you're proud. You're like, that's super dope. Like, and they start to have even a better bond with their dog, which is what at the end of the day, the end goal is that. For me, it's that. That's why I got into it, because I wanted a better relationship with my dog. I wanted to be able to expose it to things. I wanted to be able to take it to restaurants because I like to eat out. So I want to be able to be like, yo, downstay, and I eat, and I don't have to worry about
super fucking bragging rights.
Yeah, I don't want to be able to I want to be able to not worry about a chihuahua going by, right, and then maybe my dog grasping it. I don't want to worry about the waiter coming by and then it getting too friendly and saying hi to it.
Right.
It's one of those things where I just wanted to expose my dogs to different things, and so I I just stuck to it, and then now it's a business. You know, now it's something that I enjoy, that I like doing, and I like watching people grow within themselves and their dog. You know,
oh yeah, hell
this
yeah,
is dope, man. This is
that's
dope.
bad as fuck. I love that. Big George, point at your training. I love it. I love it. That was a great way to wrap it up. I love it. Tell everybody where they can find you. Instagram,
Point of Year Training, website pointofyeartraining.com, Facebook page Point of Year Training, and those are all places you can find me at.
Awesome. Thank you, Big George.
Thank
Always
you,
a
man.
pleasure. Bam!
Always a pleasure.
Good stuff. Thank you. That was great. Let's see if it all came through. Bam!
Turned off.
No, we did.